Our station, WBFO, it's 8:04. I'm Mark Wozniak. Tomorrow, over 250 groups across the world will be hosting Tellebration, an evening of storytelling. Timeless Tales is the theme of this year's celebration. Locally, Tellebration will take place in Snyder at the Harlem Road Community Center. WBFO's Mike McKay tells us about the art of storytelling and how a local guild is helping Western New Yorkers spin a tale or two.
Storytelling has existed since the dawn of time in nearly every culture. It exists today in the form of tales around the campfire, scriptural stories told from the pulpit, and we even find storytellers trying to perform their art on the internet. Storytelling is many things. To some, it's entertainment. Others, it's a way of passing on a culture's or family's history. And as Grand Island storyteller Lynn Kratz points out, this art form can also help adults explain the complexities of life to children.
Using the metaphors that are in stories. I just think of the story The Turnip, because it's an old Russian story about planting the seed and the grandfather trying to pull the seed out, trying to pull the turnip out that has grown so huge. Then he calls the grandmother over. The two of them can't pull it out together, so they call the granddaughter over, and the three of them work on it, and they still can't get it. Then the dog comes, the cat comes, and finally the little field mouse comes, and all of them together pull that turnip out. And because together we can solve our problems. And I think that it's a story that's so old, I don't even know where the original version comes from, but it's still alive today, and it still relates to so many people in an audience because everyone has the ability to put tools in their tool bag to solve certain problems. And that's one way that we can teach children and parents to take a look at what they have here. Here's their problem. How can we solve it?
There are numerous storytelling styles. One is the old, popular one, back porch old-time storytelling. Then there's also some who are very animated when they spin a tale. But Lynn says you don't have to be an actor or actress to be an effective, entertaining storyteller.
No, I think it's totally different. Acting has the fourth dimension. It has the fourth wall there. Storytelling relates to your heart and soul because we're looking right at you as we speak. We may put on take on certain characters by the change in a voice or the tone that you use or a nuance. You know, different characters may wear different things by the way that I sound, but I'm not a character, and that is different. When you go to a theater production, you see an actor, an actress, and they have memorized their lines. They are always standing in the same spot. They feed off of the end of each other's lines. That's not the same thing in storytelling. Storytelling is looking at the audience and relating to them almost as a one-to-one.
The Spin-a-Storytellers Guild here in Western New York says the tale changes every time they present it. It changes because they change. It also changes as storytellers research their tales. But that doesn't mean they're not spontaneous.
I think it depends on where you're telling the stories.
Lorna MacDonald Czarnota is a professional storyteller and trainer here in Buffalo.
You know, I'll sit down and tell my niece's story off the top of my head, but I couldn't really do that and expect somebody to pay me for it. It would have to be a story that was crafted, like a good piece of artwork. You just don't throw it together, it's crafted.
Unlike television, Lorna says storytelling takes a person from the reality of the world and puts them in another place.
You're taking them into the realm of imagination. You're helping them to lose their immediate problems, to dissolve those, to move away from those. And you hear so much when people talk about storytelling. It was mesmerizing, spellbinding, trance-inducing. You really are taking them to a whole different place. And you don't get that with things like television, where everything is done for you.
Lorna MacDonald Czarnota takes us on a storytelling adventure as heard on her Crossroads recording from 1999.
She held her fist out to Becky. What do you think this moth is gonna do when I open my hand? Becky thought, let it fly. Oh, let it fly. But when Mildred opened her fingers, the moth dove into the fire and died. Mildred reached across the table. She took both of Becky's hands in hers and looked her square in the eye. Now, what are you gonna do?
Storytellers gathered in a local church for a workshop recently agree the best place to find a good story is real life. Time and time again, storyteller Lynn Kratz relies on the saying, truth is stranger than fiction. Mike McKay, WBFO News.